sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready. No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and, well, I'm trying to make sense out of this senseless, but I don't think it's happening. One thing I do have to laugh. We're going to jump right into it today. Huffington Post talked about it yesterday. They put up an article how they should. It came out of I think South African edition, and how the white man should have his voting privilege taken away for 20 years. So how equal of them, you know. The article's been removed. It seems the author of that piece doesn't actually exist. I know, that's kind of weird, isn't it? It's really weird. The author does not exist. And the original article, which was titled, "Could It Be Time to Deny White Men the Franchise?" supported M.A. philosophy student Shelley Garland argued for the removal of voting rights and the redistribution of wealth from white men, citing the election of Donald Trump, BritX, and South Africa's Democratic Alliance as reasons to act. Some of the biggest blows to the progressive cause in the past year have often been due. Where the heck did that go? Damn mouse. Oh, man, my mouse is going nuts. There it is. Some of the biggest blows to the progressive cause in the past year have often been due to the votes of white men. If white men were not allowed to vote, it is unlikely that the United Kingdom would be leaving the European Union. It is unlikely that Donald Trump would now be the president of the United States. It is unlikely that the Democratic Alliance would now be governing 4 of South Africa's biggest cities. If white men no longer had the vote, the progressive cause would be strengthened. At the same time, a denial of the franchise to the white men could see a redistribution of global assets to the rightful owner. The redistribution of the world's wealth is long overdue, and is not just South Africa where white males own a disproportionate amount of wealth, Garland proclaimed. Now, following the publication of this article, and a lot of backlash, the Huffington Post South African editor-in-chief defended the writer in an article of her own after complaining about the criticism of the Huffington Post had received following the publication of the original article. The editor-in-chief claimed that Garland's underlying analysis about the uneven distribution of wealth and power in the world is pretty standard for a feminist theory. Quote, "It has been espoused in many different ways by feminist writers and theorists for decades now. In that sense, there was nothing in the article that should have shocked or surprised anybody. Dismantling the patriarch system that have brought us to where we are today A world where power is wielded to dangerous and destructive ends by men, and in particular white men, necessarily means a loss of power to those who hold it. You know, the original article was just a racist article. Now, this one not only is racist, it's goddamn sexist. Oh, that's right. Liberals can't be sexist and racist. They can say whatever they want. I forgot. Sorry. All right, back to where we were. Despite the defense of the article, it was removed the same day following the discovery that Shelley Garland, the alleged author of the original piece, didn't actually exist. In the final article by the editor-in-chief, titled White Men and the Vote, Why We Took the Blog Down, Shelley Garland, who claimed to be an MA student at UCT, cannot be traced and appears not to exist. We have immediately bolstered and strengthened our boggling procedures that until now have operated on the basis of open communication and open faith. From now on, bogglers will have to verify themselves. We will hold discussions on putting in place even better quality control. In addition, we note the commentary on the comment of the blog post and will submit it to the South African press ombudsman for his analysis of the opinion we carried. Huffington Post essay stands aligned to the constitutional values of South Africa, particularly the preamble of our Constitution, which states that we, the people of South Africa, believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in our diversity. That article didn't sound like united. That article didn't sound like it belonged to all people. The more they talk about race and how we have to come together, the more they separate us, which is what they want. They use this cloak and dagger that they're here, and by I mean these damn liberals. They use the cloak and dagger of we are here to better the human race. We are here because there's so much racism. And then they go on to cause more division, more divide. They piss people off on both sides. They cause more issues, more separation. But because they think they're smarter than everybody else, they are too goddamn stupid to open their ears and listen and see that their rhetoric is making it worse. Or they are doing it on purpose to cause a divide. One or the other. Too stupid or doing it on purpose. Which one of these liberals will let me know which one they are? Too stupid or doing it on purpose? This is... Could you imagine someone writing that about the black vote? Huffington Post would lose their shit. Not defend it. They would lose it. But it's okay to attack because they're attacking a white person. That's not racism. It just, no one should be denied their right to vote. No one. But it seems certain groups think it's okay to attack the whites because they think they're justifying because of what people did in the past. Well, I don't think they want my answer. I don't think they want me to respond. My answers won't be nice. It is ridiculous. It is a joke. And they're just dividing us even more by allowing articles like that. The Democrats have been, for a long time now, playing by their own rules, breaking the rules, basically, doing whatever the hell they want, but holding everybody else to a higher standard. Today's Democrat politicians promote and back protecting criminals. From those who cross the border illegally to murderers. From A to Z, they protect the criminals. They're trying to make it as easy as possible for terrorists to come into our country. They are trying to protect these terrorists abroad. Either that or they actually are dumb enough to think that they can negotiate with these terrorists, which would never happen. They try to protect these sick bastard leaders such as Assad and Kim Jong-un. Or whatever the hell North Korea's leader is. And that's what the Democrats are protecting and standing up. They're trying to divide us even more. Constantly putting a wedge. It's amazing. I just can't believe how they're just willing to protect these scumbags of the earth so willingly. It's and allowing this article it's they justified the article, but sat there and said that they hold themselves to a high standard, that they hold themselves to the South African press code, but yet they did not uphold to it. They support free expression as limited by the following values set out in that code. So racism is allowed in that code. I highly doubt that. Very much doubt that. It's... Oh, man. Tonight, I think it's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. BZ's show, the Bobcat Saloon. I will be a guest on his show tonight. So if you want to tune in, you can tune in at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on SHR Media. Oh, it's... Oh, it's going to be a long day. Very long day. I know my daughter's all hyped up. Oh, is she hyped up? She had a field trip today. I almost didn't make it on air because of it. But, she is all sorts of... hyped up. She got this because she has done high honor roll for 2 marking periods, so they had given them roller skating rink trip. Which hey, I'll take that. It's she's been working her tail off this year. I'm so proud of my daughter. I mean, she has worked her tail off. She's improved her grades greatly, and I'm so proud of her. Where are we? All right, we're going to hit the break a little bit early today. We're going to jump into a couple other subjects, and you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, where are we? I'm so not with it today. I'm off. I'm just... Let's see, where are we? Oh, yeah. So, remember we got told that increasing the minimum wage will not hurt any jobs, just as Obamacare would not hurt any jobs. We got told that increasing the wage, no one will lose their jobs. Prices wouldn't go up, yada, yada, yada. Everybody in their right mind knew that everybody was full of shit on that. That it would cause the minimum wage to go up. So a Harvard research, now our left loves their studies. They love Harvard. Harvard, like most of them, are liberal-leaning. Minimum wage hikes put non-elite restaurants out of business. A recent study conducted by researchers at a Harvard Business School concluded that minimum wage laws increase the likelihood that non-elite restaurants will go out of business. We all knew it. It's common sense. You increase your cost, your employees' cost. You really can't raise the cost of the food that much. You'll lose customers. You're going to lose businesses. They're going to have to downgrade how much staff they have, which then interferes with the ability to do the business correctly. And that blows everything out of the water right there. But, I mean, we were told How many times were we told that this would not interfere with the business? It's common sense. I want to say it's common sense to see that it would cause an increase. It's not rocket science here to see that it would increase cost and put companies out of business. And that's the problem is Democrats look at their playbook, and that's all they care. They'll lie, cheat, steal. They don't care. As long as they get to push their, oh, look at what we're doing for you. They're buying elections. They're buying elections. There's no other way to put it. Who wouldn't vote for them knowing that they're going to get a raise? Who would turn down a raise? So, of course, the Democrats are going to campaign on increasing the minimum wage. They're buying elections. That's all this is about. They don't give a rat's ass about us. They know it's going to put companies out of business. It's going to put people out of work. And they know it. But it's buying them elections. Because people are, oh, I get a raise. If I vote for this person, I'm going to get a raise. Why wouldn't you vote for that person? And the simple-minded of some people, they said it's not going to hurt the economy. And then when the economy goes to shit because of it, they blame the Republicans. Why didn't the Republicans stop it? And there's actually people stupid enough that fall for this little game. The Democrats said it's the Republicans' fault. Let's look at Obamacare. They're now trying to blame everything on Obamacare. And who was it? Democrats? Pushed that? Republicans sat there saying this is a disaster. This is going to fail. Everything they said is going to happen has happened. Everything the Democrats said that was going to happen has not happened. But who did the Democrats blame? That it's the Republicans' fault. What do you think is going to go on with the minimum wage hike? It's going to blow up in these companies' faces. Democrats go, it's the Republicans' fault. And you're going to hear these little zombies. It is the Republicans' fault. You voted for those cocksuckers to go in, raise the minimum wage, and destroy our economy, and you blame everybody else. It's... I don't... Oh... drives me up a wall. It just... Whew. This seems very much like common sense. Who was I talking to? we were talking about that just... It was like... Oh... One of my neighbors I was talking to, one of the comments we got talking about is Trump. And, brain fart. He doesn't understand how all these people that are saying that Trump is flip-flopping. Because on the China currency manipulation, he's now not going to label them that. He used that. And he couldn't come out and say, I'm going to use this as leverage. That wouldn't work out too good. So you come out and you say, this is what you're willing to do. And he was willing to do it. Now, China has backed down to us. They're really kissing our ass, so to speak. So, why should we label them at this point? To me, that's not flip-flopping. That's using items to your advantage. So, and then, well, he's trying to get us into war. He's trying to start. No, he is preventing wars from happening. He's showing the world, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to attack. You push me, I will attack. This is how far. We're not going to play tiddlywinks and pull in a couple of fighter jets and drop a couple of sticks of dynamite on a building. No, we're going to come in and we're going to level that building. He's preventing it. Peace through strength. He's showing this is what I have. This is what I will do. He's not sitting there running his mouth like Obama did. He's not out there with, have you crossed this red line? We're going to war. Oh, you crossed the line. If you cross this red line, I'm going to war. No, he's out there. Hey, you crossed the red line. And we got talking about it. We both were able to come to the same conclusion. And he was like, I wonder, Dad. He goes, how can people not see that? I'm like, they see what they want to see. But then again, they'll say the same thing about us. Why can't we see that he's fascist and all this other crap? Not going to get into that crap. It is what it is, and it's... And back to this article, it's a study that was conducted by a husband and wife team, and they looked at data at 10,000 of restaurants in the San Francisco area. They concluded that lower-rated restaurants are disproportionately more likely than 4- or 5-star restaurants to go out of business as a result of minimum wage laws. The evidence suggests that higher minimum wages increase overall exit rates for restaurants. However, low-quality restaurants, which are already closer to margin of exit, are disproportionately impacted by increase to the minimum wage. The data on the San Francisco area restaurant study concluded that a $1 increase in the minimum wage increased the likelihood of a restaurant going out of business by 4 to 10%. A 10% increase to the minimum wage led to a 24% increase in the likelihood that a restaurant would go out of business. The paper presents several new findings. First, we provided suggestive evidence that higher minimum wage increases overall exit rates among restaurants, where a $1 increase in minimum wage led to the disproportionately a 4 to 10% increase in the likelihood of exit. Although statistically significant falls with the inclusion of time-varying county-level characteristics and city-specific time trends. Oh, my dogs are going nuts. Just got a delivery. The research revealed that lower quality restaurants were more likely than 5-star restaurants to go out of business in response to minimum wage laws. Economically, this is somewhat intuitive because 4- and 5-star restaurants aren't constrained by minimum wage policies, as they typically pay their wait staff well, and diners often leave generous tips. They are charging a higher rate already. They're charging, now their food is expensive, so they can afford to pay the higher wages, so the increase doesn't even bother them. That's basically what that is saying. Our point estimates suggest that a $1 increase in the minimum wage leads to a 14% increase in the likelihood of exit for a 3.5-star restaurant, which is the median rating, but has no discernible impact for a 5-star restaurant on a 1 to 5 scale. This is an important conclusion because it reveals that minimum wage policies often hurt those that are intended to help. That increase is meant to help the low end, but it's putting those low ends out of business. Owners of lower-rated restaurants are put at risk of having to shut down their business in response to the mandate increase in cost of labor. The patrons of lower-rated eateries can lose dining choices. Those who eat out at the top of the food chains, the elite 4- and 5-star restaurants, might not even notice. They don't see this because they don't go to those. It's to me, it is basic knowledge. It is common sense to see that. They're not trying to help the lower class. They're trying to buy votes. That's all they're trying to do by these minimum wage increases. They think they can buy votes. As I said earlier, who wouldn't? If you were given a choice at work to take a raise or not, you're going to take the raise every single time. You're not going to think, is it going to put me out of business? You're going to go, oh, I'm getting a raise. I'm getting a raise. Oh. It's... I don't know. It's just common sense to me. So we're going to take a short break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catherine is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised.
And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm trying to make sense out of senseless. I'm trying. Oh. It is what it is. And we're just got to keep the fight. And I think we'll be good. We now have... Things are looking so up that former UFC fighter, and he's done some movie, television, Tim Kennedy, has re-enlisted. He re-enlisted. He was Special Forces. He already did his time. He went and re-enlisted. Why? Because he's crediting Trump. The military got their teeth back. This past Sunday on Fox and Friends Weekend, former UFC fighter Tim Kennedy said he decided to re-enlist in the United States Army Special Forces after noticing the change and leadership under new President Donald Trump following 8 years with Barack Hussein Obama. Kennedy was inspired by the mother of all bombs dropped in Afghanistan last week. I've got hope again, he said of Trump being commander-in-chief. The military, we got our teeth back. Kennedy added that the U.S. now has a reinvigorated, hopeful, beautiful military. I've got people that will back me now. He wrote a little message to ISIS. Dear ISIS, if you're lucky enough to kill a special force operator, the probability of us dropping the biggest non-nuclear bomb ever made on you should be the least of your concerns. There is a vengeance and wrath associated with the loss of one of our brothers. May God have mercy on your soul, because we are coming and we will have none to give. Sincerely, the U.S. military. Now, people think, oh my God, this is going to hurt Trump. It's going to hurt Trump. Psst, it hasn't. Dropping these bombs hasn't hurt Trump. It's actually bumped his approval rating back up. And I know the approval rating depends on who does it and all that. But right now, by Rosmond's, I never say it right. They have him. No. President Trump's approval rating has improved to 50% according to a new Rasmussen poll. This is the first time the president's overall approval rating has been back in the 50s in nearly a month. Just after his inauguration, Trump's job approval peaked at 59% and remained in the 50s every day until March. It's gone as low as 42% since then. Trump's rating have improved despite multiple reports of staff infighting in the White House. And after his meeting with Chinese president, Trump also approved a missile attack in response to Syria's use of chemical weapons and the military dropping the mother-of-all bomb on ISIS terrorists in Afghanistan. Those two right there, I think, shot his approval rating right back up. Why? Because people are tired. People want to know that there is adults in charge, that adults are going to protect us. They want to know that they're safe at home. Most people, in the back of their minds, they were worried about ISIS coming here, whether how many attacks we had or didn't have. But we did have attacks. They want to feel safe. I talked to so many people, they were worried about an ISIS attack. They were worried about ISIS coming in and attacking. I mean, it's simple. But, of course, our supposed owners above, or not owners, but our betters, our politicians, thought they knew better. Well, they didn't. People are starting to, the approval rating goes back and forth. Obama's approval rating went back and forth. They make a big deal for every point for Trump. When the media covered up the low points of Obama's approval rating. He was down in the 30s sometimes. So, I don't put a lot of trust in these idiots. I really don't. These polls can be twisted any which way you want. And they're easy. But right now, he's back up in the 50s. Of course, that's going to send the Democrats and liberals running. Oh, my God. But what that's done is Trump's gone back on the attack on biased media. After a weekend away from Washington, D.C., the fake news, not the real media, has gotten even worse since the election. Every story is badly slanted. We have to hold them to the truth. Last week, some of the media were surprised after Donald Trump referred to them as very honorable people during an event at the White House. Trump appeared to be watching Fox and Friends on Monday morning, praising the show for some of their analysis. The first 90 days of my presidency has exposed the total failure of the last 8 years of foreign policies. And he has shown this huge failure. And there has been a huge failure. They think, it's amazing how they think they're actually, the last 8 years were successful, the media, because they have to try to prop up to make, if they admit that he is a failure, they have to admit they failed. And if Donald Trump is doing so bad, and everybody's against them, why is the House campaigns funding, their fundraising has hit a record high. Donors gave a record $96.1 million the first quarter of 2017, a 45% increase over the previous record of $66.2 million, raised in the same amount of time 2 years ago. The maximum contribution amount stayed the same for both periods of times. Republicans raised $49.8 million, while the Democrats raked in $46.3. Does that tell you anything? Trump is not hurting the Republicans. He is helping the Republicans. So these Republicans that keep attacking him, God, go join the Democrat Party. The reason for the surge in fundraising on both sides can be attributed to President Trump. His first actions as president on immigration, cutting regulations, tax reform, and health care reform. Left-leaning groups have seen a surge in demonstration and fundraising to fight against Trump's effort as president. But conservatives have also seen a boost in fundraising during the first months of Trump's administration. Heightened partisanship is good for fundraising, said one researcher. Republicans and Democrats are trying to keep the donor base active at the dawn of the Trump presidency. The biggest surge in fundraising has come from small dollar donations. House campaign committees for both parties received a total of $13.7 million in donations from small dollar donors who gave less than $200. President Trump has benefited from small dollar donors who propelled him to a victory in 2016 and helped him raise $13.2 million for his 2020 re-election. 2020 re-election. And he's already raised that much. It's amazing. But yet they keep talking about how much of a failure his presidency has been so far. Yes, Democrats have fought against a couple things. Immigration, they keep locking up in court system. Congratulations. You want a cookie. The wall they're going to try. Even they're building test portions. And they're trying to fight that. Problem is, there's already laws in the books that says that they're exempt from environmental impact and all this. A lot of these lawsuits, as long as these judges follow the law, they're exempt from a lot of the shit. Because they're back in, I think, 2006, they put in a bunch of exemptions. And the Democrats approved it back then. I think it was 2006. Could be wrong on the date. His presidency's going along at a pretty good pace, I feel. I haven't been totally dissatisfied. There's only so much he can do for the border. The Democrats keep fighting him tooth and nail, so he's kind of locked on it. I mean, what do you want the man to do? He has... I'm sorry, it's just there's only so much he can do. I would like to see more, but you know what? He's gotten a lot done so far. He's turned Washington upside down. And anybody thinks he would have gotten everything done in the first day. Come on, you can't be that gullible. Every president says, on first day I'm going to do these 2,000 things and have it done and over with. Presidents as candidates make all these promises all the time. This is what I'm going to do. And guess what? They can't do it. I'm not justifying it, but they do it all the time. They make promises. All these presidents do it. But now, all of a sudden, people have this huge issue with it. Out of the blue. Now they got a problem with it. Because it's Trump. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media. And hi. Call myself. I don't know why I keep doing it. Just out of repetition of doing it so much, I got used to saying the same thing over and over again. only on SHR Media. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. What the hell? I know I'm a little late on this, but what the hell's going on in Berkeley? 3 times now, and it's the same group that's causing the riots. Same group that has caused the riots. They're going in to start these riots. They went in with banned items that were to be used as weapons. They had weapons on them. They had knives and so forth. They go in with their face covered. They're not going in there to protest. They're going in there to riot. So why do we continue to allow this group to exist? Seriously, they're doing nothing but causing. They're out to just cause violence. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. They are out to cause violence. It's just. And we sit back and we allow this to go on as a country. And the Democrats, if this was vice versa, the Democrats would be blasting the Republicans, making them condemn them, going at them left, right, and center. Republicans are silent on it. Need to go after the Democrats to condemn these groups. Link them. You get it where you can prove there's a link, you're going to see those riots stop. It starts hurting them in the polls, you will see those riots stop. Then again, you may not, because the Democrats seem to be too goddamn stupid to realize what's going on. I mean, they haven't been doing any good in the elections of late, but yet they still going on with their rhetoric. How many times does Democrat Party have to be failing like this until we finally step up and make them end it? How many more times are we going to have these riots? And the Democrat parties are doing nothing about it. It's their base that's doing it. They're cheering them on. They think it's great. They don't think there's an issue. Their base is being violent, and there's not an issue. This is not the first time we've had these issues at Berkeley. We need to start wondering what the hell is going on at Berkeley. What are they teaching them in Berkeley? Damn. Seriously, I mean, if us Republicans had done half of what these groups have done, holy shit. Hell, there's a goddamn conservative that got killed, and he wasn't even violent. Peaceful protest produced death. Finicum Lavoie was killed. Murdered. I'd like to know what's going on with that investigation that they broke out with the FBI, because that went quiet real quick. Anybody notice how quiet that got? It's absolutely amazing. How much the left has gotten away with. I'm sickened by what this country has allowed of late. The Democrat Party has allowed. It's unbelievable. But we continue. We continue and allow it. They will hide behind saying it's some kind of freedom, when it's nothing more than just thugs. That's all they're trying to be. They're trying to force their opinions onto others, and they're using violence. That's exactly what they're doing. They're using violence to try to get what they want. To force you to think the way they want. Or they will perpetuate this violence onto you. And Berkeley has been a absolute... they have been just... I'm trying to think of how I want to put this. That's where it's been growing. That's where they're teaching. That's where they're indoctrinating, brainwashing these kids. And most of them now, I mean, they're picking out kids that they know you can easily get them to go to violence. And they know which kids to go after. And they're picking these kids out. And they don't care about them. One of these times, there's going to be someone that gets killed. Now, I'm not saying that I want to see that. I'm saying it's going to happen. And if it's one of these kids that doesn't murder, you're going to see the Democrat Party walk away from them, turn their backs. Because this shit's going to hit the fan so hard, the Democrat Party is going to have to walk away. And who's going to be left? That kid that the Democrat Party has used. That trained him to be like that. And the Democrat Party will wash their hands and just done and walk away from that poor kid. And yet, the Democrats just, they don't give a shit. All they care about is their re-election. Will it get them reelected? Good. That's all they care. I know I'm being cynical, but you know what? It's all I'm seeing. Time and time again. And I'm tired of the way it's going. I really am. The only way it's going to stop is when the Democrat Party starts paying the price. Chuck Schumer's, the Nancy Pelosi's, when they're held accountable for all this, then it will stop. But I don't see that happening anytime soon because the Republicans don't have the guts to step up. They don't have the balls to take it to the Democrat Party. Oh, it's... I don't know. It's scary is what it is. We're getting to a point that's, I don't know. Where do we go from here? But the Democrats have to be held responsible. They gotta step up and say enough's enough. They really have to be responsible. They have to be the adults. They have to worry what's best for America, what's not best for their party, what's best for their reelection. Do you know what? When they start worrying about what will be best for America, getting reelected comes real easy. And maybe I'm wrong on that because so many Republicans have tried to do that, and they get pretty screwed over. But the Democrats have no problem lying to the American people. I don't know. It's... I don't see any end to this anytime soon. All right, with that, you've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and only on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catholic is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, it's... There's only so much we can do. So much. Conservative watchdog group requests investigation into top House Intel Democrats. I've said it before. I'll say it again. When you hear a Democrat crying about something, look behind the curtain because that's exactly what they are doing. They accuse Devin Noon, of exposing some top-secret information, some unethical activity. Well, Judicial Watch has requested the Office of Congressional Ethics to look into whether Vice Chairman Adam Schiff and Representative Jackie Spears, both Democrats from California, that they broke House ethic rules for disclosing classified information to the public, with which left-wing groups have targeted its Republican chairman. Exact same thing that they accused him of. How did they know he may have done that? Because that is exactly what they are doing. Again and again. Again and again. Again and again. Does it surprise anybody? Do I think they're guilty? Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I damn well think they are guilty. And what's funny is they accuse Chairman Noon of having a preconceived opinion. They said that he already thinks that Trump is innocent. It's not fair. How can we have an impartial investigation? You already think he's guilty. Adam Schiff went in it. Trump's guilty. How can we make him guilty? Anybody that can't see that is playing partisan politics. They think he's guilty, so they got him targeted for being guilty. Last month, progressive groups MoveOn.org, Soros, and Citizens for Responsibility, and Ethics in Washington, Soros, requested an investigation into Chairman Devin Nunes after they said he had done the exact same thing. Chairman Nunes stepped down. Nunes temporarily stepped aside from leading a high-profile probe into Russia's involvement into the United States presidential election, while the Office of Congressional Ethics is looking into whether any rules were broken. Judicial Watch noted this double standards in its request. If the standard for filing a complaint and opening an ethics investigation is that a member has committed publicly on matters that touch on classified information, but the member does not reveal the source of his or her information, then the complaints against Chairman Noon are completely insofar as they target only Nunes. At least two other members of the House Intelligence Committee have made comments about classified material that raises more directly this very same concern raised against Chairman Nunes, because they appear to confirm classified information contained in leaked intel community intercepts. The left-wing groups filed their complaints against Noon after he told reporters on March 22nd that he had seen evidence that the Intelligence Committee had incidentally collected information about Trump's transition team members, and that the information was widely disseminated and their names en masse. Judicial Watch noted that Schiff had spoken to an audience at the Brookings Institute that day before, on March 21st, appearing to confirm a leaked December 29th conversation between incoming National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and Russian ambassador. And then you have leaks that expose malfeasance or illegalities. Now I put that kind of leak, I put that Flynn leak in that category, Schiff had said. Now, Judicial Watch also cites on April 3rd in a Daily Caller story in which Spear a committee member, appeared to confirm the content of that call. Ambassador from Russia and General Flynn were freelancing sanctions relief at the end of December when he had no portfolio in which to make any kinds of negotiation with the ambassador. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton said in a statement at least two leading Democrats, Representative Schiff and Spear, whatever, on the House Intel Committee seemed to have improperly disclosed classified information. While the Ethics Committee examines Robert Noon's inoculate statements on Obama's surveillance on the Trump team, it ought to expand its investigation to include other members of the Intel Committee who seem to have flagrantly violated the rules. The committee's former chairman, Mike Roger, also called for Schiff to recuse himself from Russian probe in a CNN op earlier this month for discussing classified information in public. Schiff said he did not think Roger's request is a serious one. So it's okay for the Democrats to expose that information and stay on that committee. But when they accuse the Republicans, they have to step down immediately. I call bullshit. This is not rocket science. It's scientry. The Democrats play by a different set of rules and expect the Republicans to follow the rules. I don't know about you, but I am damn well getting sick and tired of that bullshit. I'm tired of Democrats doing whatever the hell they want and expecting everybody else to follow the rules. Well, I call on Chairman Schiff to step down immediately while he is investigating. He cannot be partial because it is now, all it does is look to me as partisan politics. Nothing more than partisan politics. I wouldn't trust the Democrat if they told me the skies were blue outside right now. That's how bad I feel about them anymore. I don't trust them. They are not out for the betterment of the country. They lost power. They want it back, and they'll take it back by hook or by crook. And if you get in their way, God help you. It's ridiculous The double standard. And if this was done to the Republicans, the citizens would be in an uproar. But it's okay. It's okay that it's happening to Republicans. Because they don't run their mouths like Democrats do. So I am so tired of it. The same rhetoric over and over and over again. The same tactics. And I don't know anybody else. I'm really tired of it. Call your representatives. Tell them you're tired of this bullshit. Call every day. You get up. You're on your way to work. Call them. You're on your way home. Call them. Call them nonstop. Look it up. There's a number for Washington, and then there's a local number. Call them. Let them know you're unhappy with these partisan politics that the Democrats are trying to perpetuate on us. Tell them you're tired of it. I don't know about anybody else. I would like to see just our government work, not fight against each other. Maybe I'm being naive on that. President Trump went out and said he wants to know who paid for the tax day anti-Trump protests. Oh, it's simple. And it's been exposed multiple times by multiple sources about a month ago. George Soros groups. Groups that George Soros paid for. And you know what? We're not the only country that's getting tired of his bullshit. There's several countries that are trying to ban his influence on their schools. I think it's Hungary trying to ban George Soros with his influence in the Hungary universities. There's countries that have him banned from stepping foot in said countries. People are tired of it. They don't want his bullshit. But because our politicians are bought and paid for by him, it continues. And nobody says a word. At a loss. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying coffee is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. It's a weird day. It really is. It's... I want to say it's getting better, but in some ways it is. In some ways it isn't in this country. Democrats, instead of looking at themselves, are trying to just go deeper. Republicans didn't change. They went deeper. Nobody's changing anything. They're the same. I don't know. Somehow we got to get better. Somehow, as a country, we got to come back together. But it seems we just keep going further and further apart. Everybody keeps talking about it, but nobody's doing it. Talk about getting better, but it seems to stay the same. Maybe one day, we'll come back together as a country, start acting responsible. I don't see that anytime soon. I wish I could say it would be tomorrow, next week, next day. But it won't. That doesn't mean we give up trying. We keep fighting a good fight. Russia is denying it's building Terminator following a release of a weaponized robot test footage. Yes, you heard me right. There is a weaponized robot test footage. The Mirror reports that the robot known as Fedor, Final Experimental Demonstration Object Research, is part of Russia's current development in space exploration. The robot is being developed by Android Tech and the Advanced Research Fund, initially with the aim to aid during rescue operations. However, now the robot is being considered a replacement for human engineers on the International Space Station. A video of the robot released recently has made many question the application of these new machines, as the android can be seen dual-wielding pistols and firing them at metal targets in the distance. This caused many people to assume that the robot was some sort of new military hardware designed to replace soldiers in the field. Skynet. Skynet, baby. And a company may be called Android Tech and Advanced Research Fund, but that's Skynet, baby. They're here. Okay, I'm being a smartass with that. Please don't go, oh, God, no. No, I don't truly think it. I don't thunk it. Oh, man, it's... Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the other screen real quick. Oh, let's see. It is what it is, but it's holy shit. It's Skynet. The Russian official have denied this claim. We are not creating Terminator, but artificial intelligence that will be part of a great practical significance in various fields, says Russian Deputy PM. Fedor is currently scheduled to travel into space in 2021 and could act as a permanent replacement to the cosmonauts on board the International Space Station. This thing can work without a spacesuit, live not only in a crew vehicle, but even outside. Its name is Fedor. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This it's Terminator, I tell you. It's Terminator. They say that their involvement in the space robot project will bring us to the next level in the development of robotic technology. Every hour work of cosmonauts on spacewalk costs $2 to $4 million. Holy, that's an expensive walk. The use of robots for routine operations in the future will also spare additional time of the crew for leisure or for the fulfillment of other important tasks. If this is actually true, which I don't think it is, it also opens up or eases the dangerous spacewalks. I mean, that's dangerous to go out there, as it is. I'm not totally against this. Sorry, I'm looking at something else and just got totally amazed. It's... We're going to have a really weird future. It's... We're on the edge of the next development. And by that, kind of like our technology development. We're right there. We're right on the cusp to step forward. So it doesn't surprise me that we're seeing these robotics. It won't be long before we see something like that in our military. If you think that our government is not doing the same thing, oh my God. You're kidding yourself. You're very much kidding yourself. We are developing the same stuff. Maybe not as loudly, but we are. If we can, it might put us to a point of a neutral. We don't mess with you, you don't mess with us. That mutual assured destruction. It's actually not a bad concept. So, to see this, it doesn't faze me that much. It really doesn't, people. And it could be a good thing in the future to come. It could be a very, very good. Depends on how our governments wield that power. It is scary. Oh, it... I don't know. It was just on that cusp. Just right there. Would it make us better? Will it make us worse? One thing I like is Attorney General Jeff Sessions has enacted a comprehensive reform at the Justice Department. He's establishing the administration's pro-America policy throughout the former President Barack Obama's Justice Department. In just 2 months as the nation's top cop, Sessions has moved quickly to overhaul the policies and priorities set by the Obama administration. Sessions has made immigration enforcement a top priority. Late last month, he put sanctuary cities on notice, announcing that grant money would be withheld from state and local governments that refused to cooperate with federal authorities and turn over undocumented immigrants arrested for crimes. Federal prosecutors have also been alerted to a new national push to crack down on violent crime. Sessions tapped Stephen Cook, a federal prosecutor and outspoken opponent of the criminal justice reform, to lead the charge as Assistant Deputy Attorney General. He'll be leading Sessions' new task force on crime reduction and public safety. The Hill, of course, found left-wing lawyers who disagree with Sessions' policies, including his opposition to anti-crime. The director of justice program at Brennan Center for Justice argued that arresting and incarcerating people is not the solution. Mass incarceration is not contributing to mass criminal decline, but it does not appear Jeff Sessions knows that. My question to you, you half-witted nerf herder. So we're supposed to sit back and allow them to do anything they want? Allow these criminals to run through our streets rampant? In Obama's 6 years, his policies, which include the early release of many convicted, helped cause a massive spike in murders around the country, resulting in the deaths of hundreds of people. Most of the dead are African Americans. Obama's crime rise helped shift public opinion away from his favorite candidate, Hillary Clinton. He released criminals back out on the street that did not deserve their freedom. These people were punished. They were released for no other reason to cause havoc upon the people. Everybody, have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Reaver of Common Sense. And tonight, I think it's 11 p.m., BZ's Berserker Bobcat Saloon. I will be a guest there. Tune in right here on SHR Media. Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.